Hey there, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter welcoming you to another Degrassi poll video. And this video is about the top foreign-born Degrassi students in history. Now, there is a bit of a concern about how the poll went about. I was hoping for like a couple dozen names. When I typed about Manny Santos and, Manny's stuff on Degrassi fandom about the characters who didn't come from the Toronto area, well, aka like from Canada and all that. So there were some characters, there were American-born characters and all this. Of course, the whole thing about being foreign-born Degrassi characters is different in a sense. Because, the Reddit community serves a lot of Canadians and Americans. And, of course, as a proud Canadian, when I say foreign, Americans are foreign to Canada. But Americans did add a little bit to the Degrassi universe. But if I was American, I couldn't really make the list because, Canadians were the heavy people in the Degrassi universe. So because Degrassi Reddit was both sides of the border, Canada and the United States primarily, I know there are probably some internationals. But the fact of the matter is that, I couldn't say foreign and take out the American characters and put them in the poll. I could have, but Americans probably would have been pissed off. So there were some American characters, and a few that come to mind are Fiona and Declan, who were born to American expatriates while they were doing a diplomats thing in Tokyo, Japan. I considered putting them in the poll, but they're Americans by birth. Like, they're from New York and they moved to Toronto to attend Degrassi, and Fiona having her twincest with Declan kind of sucks. But yeah, they didn't make the list. Because of the fact that, I know they were born in Japan. Technically, that counts as being foreign. But they were Japanese heritage. They were just basically, American expatriates. And we also know about Becky and Luke Baker. Because Luke went up to play for the Toronto Icehounds. Basically an OHL team. Like Major Jr. trying to get into the NHL. All that crap. So, yeah, they moved from Florida to Toronto to play hockey. I'm surprised. Like, Florida doesn't really show a lot of hockey players. I mean, there were a lot of hockey teams and all that. And, Tampa and Sunrise, Florida, got NHL franchises in the 90s. But that was because Gary Bettman wanted to make the NHL into the Deep South. You can kind of blame the Wayne Gretzky trade to Los Angeles in 1988 from Edmonton as a main factor. But, yeah. Florida had hockey teams for a couple years. And Tampa is the defending Stanley Cup champion. Two-time champ after that. So, yeah, they went up to Toronto to play major hockey, basically for Luke's career. And, her mom and her dad were around. They were hypocritical Christians, if you may call it. Her dad being a minister, basically telling Becky what not to do. Like, be a perfect Christian. Basically get mad at anything that ruffled her feathers, like in the LGBTQ2+ community. And Becky tried to go for conversion therapy because she was still in love with Adam. But Becky realized she couldn't be that type of person. Adam died before too long and Becky was alone. Becky ended up dating Drew, but Drew was the one who initiated because Drew was upset over the fact he lost his brother Adam. But why would he date his brother's ex? Jesus. And Becky was forced to try to lie about Luke's involvement in raping Zoe alongside his compass. But Becky was taught to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I know family honor is at stake, but, you're telling the truth in front of a judge, and you could get in trouble for perjury if you lie. So Becky told the truth. Luke and the guy went to juvie for 2 years. Her parents basically shun her. But her parents couldn't throw Becky out because if this got out, they would have been in deep trouble, especially with the dad being a minister. He might have been thrown out of the ministry. So the fact of the matter is that, Becky is in a loveless home and all that. I just wish that she moved in with Drew's mom, like with Audra, or with someone else. But no, guess not. So yeah, they were American, so they didn't count on the list because, I have to treat the American Redditors with respect and all that stuff. And there were some characters who actually might have been foreign, but they were born in Canada to foreigners. Ali and Sav were born in Canada to Muslim parents from like India. I thought Fola qualified for the poll, but I guess not. Fola was born in Canada to her parents, who were Greek immigrants, and her dad basically had a old school, old country style, and all that. So yeah, poor Fola, and she left after season 1. And then you got Diana and Alexa, who had Greek names like Diana Akonopoulos and Alexa Papadopoulos or something. I know I'm mangling the names. I apologize to the Greek viewers. But yeah, so I thought they were from Greece, but nope, their parents were from Greece. Greek heritage. That was kind of sucky and all that. However, I did come up with 6 characters that were foreign born. So in the end, now I tried to get Degrassi Junior High and High as best as possible based off the list from the fandom, but there was only one. Kind of pathetic, don't you think? But that person did well. So 177 people voted. And before I flash the numbers and all that, I'll tell you that number 1 was 127, had 127 votes out of 177. I checked online and it was 71.7% for this character. So remember, there's 177 votes and first place was 127. All right, from 6 to 1, here we go. Number 6 with only 2 putrid votes was Kendra. She came from China. She was adopted by the Masons, and had a brother named Spinner. Spinner treated Kendra quite well in season 2. He basically wanted to break Toby's muscles if he broke Kendra's heart. So basically, Toby and Kendra were an item. Kendra was not happy with the way Toby was smothering her. I mean, Toby, I think, was trying to keep Kendra from breaking up with him because he wanted Kendra and he felt terrible if he didn't have a girl and all that. But Toby went about it the wrong way. Kendra was decent. Kendra appeared in that one episode about International Day in which, the girl who was targeted for being Iraqi or Muslim, who is on this list, by the way. Wait, she isn't on this list. Ah, shoot. I put her in the black hole list. Fuck. So anyway, I should have done Fariza in this list. Because, Fariza was just a one-time character and all that. I guess that's probably my excuse. So anyway, Fariza got her thing hurt because of her being Muslim. And this was 16 months after 9/11 or something? Well, it was season 2, so that was about right. So anyway, Kendra said, I don't see the problem. My parents are white. I'm Chinese. We have a good family culture. Yeah, but Kendra was adopted from China because China had the policy of one child or one female child, something like that. And, the adoption thing. But yeah, Kendra was a decent person, but by season 3, she was in the black hole, and it was terrible. So number 5 on the list with 8 votes, and who I was surprised didn't do so well, was Hazel. Hazel came from Somalia. Well, Hazel always pretended she was Jamaican, and she had a Jamaican outlook on life. But Fariza ousted her for being Muslim, because Arden is a Arabic name. And, Hazel basically blasts Fariza for her fashion style. Fariza wearing the outfit. And, Paige was shocked that Hazel did that. And Hazel's storyline with Fariza, I believe that was the first main storyline given to a minor character. Well, the subplot to that episode was the one when when JT hides his sewing prowess for fear of embarrassment. But he gets embarrassed. However, the girls wanted JT to sew some skirts for them. And Toby and Sean's mouths dropped when they wanted to pay JT. Fuck. Serves you right. So anyway, Hazel wanted to be Jamaican for International Day, but, she did all the stereotypes. Hazel was accused of having to do something with Fariza's Iraqi thing. Radish figured that because, Hazel sassed her with some stuff and made the comment, I hope Jamaica doesn't bomb Iraq, which was insensitive. That could have been a catalyst. Fortunately for Hazel, the police caught the culprits, and Hazel was told that Worth's hurt. Hazel decides to help Teresa deal with her project. After Raj decreed that it was going to be in the front lobby for everyone to see, like it or not. So Hazel admits she was Somalian and actually had dealt with some Islamophobia at her own school. And Teresa said, wow. And someone didn't learn their lesson. And then Hazel looked down. Hazel decides to tell the media class about her being Somalian. Terry asked why Hazel doesn't wear the Somalian dresses and all that. Hazel said, yeah, I go for prayer, but I'm in such a state that I don't have to wear the stuff everywhere, just to like church and for functions. And the students cheer for her. Like Hazel gets her day. Hazel gets redemption and all that, which is great. Number 4 on the list with 9 votes was Syed. He came from Syria. He was in the group of Syrians that moved to Degrassi in season 16, I like to say. And I think I'm right. Season 16. Or was it 15? Can't remember. Or next class, season 1 and 2. But anyway, Syed was a decent person. But the problem with Syed is that, he was dealing with his little sister and culture shock, and he got in trouble for saying some bad stuff. When the serial bomber, the Islamic bomber hit Belgium, and they did something for Belgium. He said, "You're doing it for a small cause and all that. I'm a victim because people hate me for being Muslim and all that, or being Arabic." I don't know what effect, but anyway, Syed actually was targeted as someone who thrown a bomb threat during the senior prom in next class, season 4/season 18, of course. And it was found out it was Esme trying to prevent Sig and Maya from going to the prom. And Maya was trying to help Sig stay with Esme. Esme also could have been on this list, but Esme was born in Canada to a Korean mother. So, yeah, she didn't count. But anyway, yeah, Syed said that at the end, in I believe the second last scene, he tells Lola that he's moving to Montreal with other relatives because Toronto treats him terribly. But Lola says, stay in Toronto. There's a lot to be good about. And then implying that she would help Syed out. Great. Thank God someone that was honorable. Like Miss Lola. Number 3 with 10 votes, it was tight, was Rasha. So Rasha came from with a Syrian wave, if you will. I know Baz would have been in there, but I kind of hate Baz for pressuring Hunter about his sexuality and making fun of him. But anyway, Rasha was beautiful and all that. And she had to flee from Syria because she was gay. And, Arabic countries and Arabic religions don't like it if you're gay. They basically stone you. Literally with stones. But anyway, Rasha leaves and is the apple of Zoe's eye. Zoe doesn't mind Rasha's gay. Zoe feels good with Rasha and to come out of the closet. It does cause Zoe to lose major movie and TV roles, which pisses off her mother because now that Zoe's not getting any roles that she can't live off her daughter, it's either work or find someone else. And guess what she took? Zoe's mom was a bitch. Anyway, Zoe stayed with Rasha throughout, calling themselves the cutest couple in Degrassi, next to Winston and Goldie. Fuck, I should have put Goldie in there too. What was I thinking? Yeah, I think Goldie would have rated higher than Kendra, to be honest with you. It never crossed my mind. And after all, Reddit only gives you 6 spots for polls. Fuck. I would have taken Syed out and put Goldie in. Damn it, why did I not think of that? I personally think Goldie is number 3 ahead of Rasha. And then that puts Syed number 5, Hazel number 6, and Kendra number 7. Oh well, what can you do? I fucked it up. I fucked it up, people. I fucked it up. Number 2 on the list with 21 votes was Yik from Fiona and Declan. He was the OG foreign student from Degrassi Junior High and High. Yik was Arthur's sidekick and all that. It was great to see that. you know, Yick was a popular person, was kind of geeky and all that. And with Arthur, he was kind of popular in a sense. Well, Arthur was an outcast too. So Yick and Arthur were outcasts, picked on by Joey. Yick wasn't sure how to deal with the fact that he's a boat person. That means, you know, from Vietnam, the boat people like had to float on boats to other parts of Asia. Well, there was a war between the evil Gaijin, or I don't know how they pronounce it, but in the West, just Vietnam of the Pol Pot era and Ho Chi Minh. So anyway, yeah, he came over to Canada and all that. People applauded him for being honest that he was a boat person. Yick had fallen out with Arthur. I guess Yick was upset with Arthur being rich and all that, and, you know, acting like a different person. All that. So, yeah, their friendship. Thankfully, though, Bartholomew and Scooter got them back together, Yick and Arthur, and they like it. Yick was the broom head, according to Arthur. Yick turned out to be a good person. Unfortunately, when he got to high school, he became more of a smoker and a bad boy, in a sense. Just can't see that. And number one, obviously with the most votes. In fact, she has 6 times more votes than Yick did, because Yick had 21, times that by 6, and add 1, that's 127, and that's Manny. Manny's been number 1 on a lot of lists lately with me, but, you know, she deserves it. She was from the Philippines. I think she mentioned that in season 1, but I never caught that. Never caught on. But basically, when she talks about her Filipino culture in season 3, when she talks to Spike about being pregnant, and she is pregnant, and Spike says, I think your family would be okay with it. I mean, my mom was okay with it. And Manny says, I don't think so, because I had a cousin who got pregnant and got shipped to the Philippines to a convent. The Philippines are basically highly religious and all that, from what I've heard. So regardless of that, Manny talks to her mom and basically said that I don't want to be dumped in the Philippines. I might as well have an abortion. But Manny's mom understands, and they don't tell Manny's dad. You know, Manny's mom and dad come from the Philippines. So it was Manny. They came from the Philippines for a better life in Canada. Canada. So anyhow, Manny gets the abortion and all that. Has troubles with Emma dealing with it, but, you know, it is what it is. Manny, unfortunately, chose sexualization and acting over academics and all that. And her dad was upset that she was taking a bad path with her acting. And he called her a slut. Basically, he's old school in the philosophy. Like Marco, also. I mean, Marco's parents were born in Italy, and Marco was born in Canada. Marco's dad had an old school philosophy that, you know, gay people should not have attention. But Marco's dad does allow Marco to come home in season 5 to him, and he's happy with it, and basically tells Marco, you should be with somebody. You don't want to be all by yourself. So, great understanding. I like that. But yeah, Marco's dad, notwithstanding, yeah, you know, there was even a scene which Manny actually goes through, I don't know what they call it. Something in the Philippines, like a coming out party or something. Like, they talk Filipino and all that stuff, and Manny brings Jay to try to piss off her parents because they don't like her. They don't give her much freedom and all that. So Manny decides to pretend to be with Jay and marry Jay, but Mr. Santos actually gets a priest and all that. He calls Manny's bluff and all that. So, yeah. He doesn't end up being a bad person in a sense, but he could have been better. But regardless of that, I mean, like, you know, Manny was a perfect girl. And, you know, I think a lot of people liked her and all that. It's weird that Cassie Steele actually had her younger sister, Alex, who played Angela / Tori in it. There. So, yeah, they're beautiful people and all that. So, yeah, Manny was the best of being foreign born and all that. And taught us a little bit of the Filipino culture in season 6, although I didn't really watch season 6 as much. Because I hated Manny with Jay. Because Jay's such a dickhead. Sorry, but that's the way it is. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching.